In 2024, Beyblade now has loyal fans spanning across 4 different series, amassing a total of 25 years. Over the decades, a lot of people have either discovered Beyblade or are returning after many years. The biggest resurgence for the older fans to Beyblade is the creation of Beybladex. And when you think about it, the people that are rediscovering Beyblade today that were back in 1999 for the original release, 20 plus years could have passed for them. That's insane to think about. The series has evolved immensely from its original release, and the biggest question that I've received is what Beyblades in 2024 should I buy to get back into the series of Beyblade? Let's break that question down a little bit further. I know getting back into a series can be overwhelming. I was overwhelmed when I joined back in Burst. I rejoined after like 6 or 7 years from Metal Fight to Burst. I just caught the tail end of Burst and I'm still overwhelmed with everything from Beyblade Burst, but luckily I get to start fresh with Beybladex, and you guys will too. Each generation has its pros and cons, and if you've watched this channel for a while, you know that I like to show off the original series of Beyblade. And I love to do that because it's nostalgic and it brings the older fans back into the community. But if you want that nostalgia, you might have to pay in more than one way. It's very easy to think, oh, I'll just pick back up where I left off in 2004 or 2008. And in theory, you could do that, but there's probably a few things you should think about before doing that. The first question I ask people is, do you actually want to use the Beyblades you buy? And obviously you're probably thinking, of course I do, why else would I buy Beyblades? And if that was your answer, I cannot solely recommend getting the Beyblades from your childhood if you were around for the original release. You have to remember, the plastics and materials are over 20 years old now and have been out of production for decades. Not only is the durability a concern for the original generation, if you have your heart set on that one Beyblade, you might have to pay upwards of $100. You heard me right, and if you use that Beyblade because you love it so much and it breaks, you're not going to get a replacement part and you're out all of that money. If you're trying to get back into Metal Fight, you have to be very careful. The Beyblades themselves are very cool and interesting, but they are 100% the biggest generation of fake Beyblades nowadays. You cannot get a new unboxed Beyblade for $30. Don't even think about it. I have been scammed countless times with fake Beyblades, especially from the Metal Fight series. If you're a fan that really wants to enjoy the series of Beyblades again, you already know that you want the real product. So chances are you'd have to buy used Beyblades for resale price that are probably in pretty bad condition because they're 15 years old at this point. And with Beyblade Burst, there is a lot to unwrap in that whole series, and I'm not the channel to go to for Burst content. I try to go as far away from that content as possible. So I don't really have much input about Burst. It's not for me. It's pretty confusing in all honesty because I haven't followed it all the way through. The second question I ask is, how much fun do you actually want to have with your purchase? If you're a fan that really wants to enjoy the series, I have to recommend getting Beybladex. You're at the beginning, you can follow it all the way through, and right now it's very simple to understand. I have a member in my Discord server that he messaged me and is like, I just picked up Beybladex, specifically for me and my kids to enjoy. A few days go by and he messages me, I just set up a tournament for me and all of my friends that are over the age of 30. We played for hours and felt like we were teenagers again. That just makes me so happy. Shout out to Carl in France, thank you for your support. If you want to join my Discord, it's the first link in the description. If you asked me to recommend a single series of Beyblade, I have to go with Beybladex. It's the most chaotic and entertaining series that Beyblade has released so far. And by far, the best reason that you should buy Beybladex Bays is they're already releasing remakes from the older generations. They've already released Dronzer S, they're working on Drigger S and Tripio from Plastic Generation. They've already announced they're going to be working on Lightning El Drago from Metal Fight and Zyphoid Excalibur from Beyblade Burst. Click the video on screen now if you're curious about Beybladex and want to learn more about it. That is my 101 guide to get up to speed with Beybladex and learn what it's all about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.